Welcome to the 11th standard zoology class, unit 2, chapter 4, organ and organ system in animals. This class we are going to learn about the morphology of earthworm, cockroach and frog. What is a morphology? Logy means what? Study. Morpho means what? External. The study about the external characters is known as what? Morphology. So first we are going to learn about the morphology of earthworm, cockroach and frog, and to recognize the different functions of the organ system. What is a organ system? The group of cells forms as a tissue, the group of tissues forms as a organ, the group of organ forms as a organ system and organism. And to differentiate the structural organization in cockroach, earthworm and frog. First we are going to learn about the morphology of the earthworm. What is a morphology? The study about the external characters. First we see the classification of the earthworm. Phylum Annelida. So Annelida it includes the segmented worms. What do you mean by segmentations? You can see the divisions on the body. So this is known as what? Segmentation. So Annelida means what? Segmented worms. Then Oligochaeta. Say the term. Oligochaeta. So chaeta means what? Setae. Chaeta means what? Setae. So on the ventral side of the earthworm, you can see the S-shaped structure. These S-shaped structures are known as what? Setae. It helps in the locomotion. Then order Haplotaxida. So taxida it includes a digestive system that runs from the mouth to the anus. Then genus is a Lampito. Then species is a Mariti. Say the term Mariti. So what is the phylum? Annelida. Class Oligochaeta. Order Haplotaxida. Genus Lampito and species Mariti. The next we are going to learn about what are the common Indian earthworms. See the terms. First one Lampito Mariti. Say the term Lampito Mariti. Then Perinax excavatus. Say the term Perinax excavatus. Then Metaphyr posthuma. Metaphyr posthuma. It's a very important 3-mark question. Name the common Indian earthworms. So what are they? First one is a Lampito Mariti. Second one is a Perinax excavatus. Then third one is a Metaphyr posthuma. Then this earthworm, they are nocturnal. So nocturnal means what? They are active during the night time. They are active during the night time. During the day, it burrows in the soil. Then it is a long cylindrical and it is a segmented body. Next we are going to learn about the earthworms, how it is classified based on the ecological strategy. The first one is an epizix, second one is an annex, third one is an endogyx. Say the term epizix, annex and endogyx. Epi means what? Outer. Epi means what? Outer. Endo means what? Inner. Endo means what? Inner. So this type of earthworm, you can see it on the top of the soil. You can see it on the top surface of the soil. So that is known as what? Epizix. Example, Perinax excavatus. Say the term Perinax excavatus. Then Eudrilus eugeniae. Eudrilus eugeniae. Then annex, you can see it in the middle of the soil. Example, Lampito Mariti. Example, Lampito Mariti. Then endogyx means what? Inner. That is this type of earthworm. You can see it in the deep layers of the soil. Example, Archoketona thrustoni. Archoketona thrustoni. So what are the types of earthworm? Based on the habitat, first one is an epizix, second one is an annex and third one is an endogyx. It's a 3-mark question. Then next we are going to learn about the structure of the earthworm. So everyone knows it. Earthworm is a long, cylindrical and bilateral symmetrical. So what is a bilateral symmetry? If you cut the organism through the central axis, if you get two equal parts, then it is known as what? Bilateral symmetry. Then here it has a metameres. Metameres means what? Segmentations. The body is divided into many segments. So each segment it is known as what? Metameres. It's a 3-mark question. What are metameres? The body of the earthworm is divided into many segments. these segments are known as what? Metameres. Then what is the color of the earthworm? The color of the earthworm is a purplish tinge. What's a purplish tinge? That is a pinkish in color. Then on the dorsal surface, so this surface it is known as what? Dorsal, and this surface it is known as what? Ventral. On the dorsal surface of the earthworm, you can see the mid-dorsal blood vessel. You can see the mid-dorsal blood vessel. On the ventral surface of this earthworm, you can see the genital opening. So what is the first one? Metameres. Metameres means what? You can see the segmentations on the body. Then what is the color of the earthworm? Pinkish in color due to the presence of the pigment porphyrin. Say that the porphyrin. It's a 1 mark question. The color of the earthworm is pinkish in color. It is due to the presence of the pigment porphyrin. On the dorsal surface of the earthworm, you can see the mid-dorsal blood vessel. On the ventral surface, you can see the genital openings. First, we learn about the segment of the earthworm. The first segment of the earthworm. So it has a mouth at the center. So this first segment, it is known as what? Peristomium. The first segment is known as what? Peristomium. This mouth is covered by a small flap of muscle. The mouth is covered by a small flap of muscle. That is known as what? Prostomium. That is known as what? Prostomium. So what is a peristomium? The first segment, at the center of the first segment, it has a small opening. That small opening is known as what? Mouth. So that is known as what? Peristomium. The mouth is covered by a small flap of muscle. That is known as what? Prostomium. From 14 to 17 segments. From 14 to 17 segments, it has a swollen and glandular thickening. It has a swollen and the glandular thickening. This is known as what? Clitellum. This is known as what? Clitellum. The last segment of the earthworm, that is, it has a anus. That is known as what? Pygidium. That is known as what? Pygidium. So say the terms, ma. First one is a peristomium. Second one is a prostomium. The last segment is known as what? Pygidium. In the earthworm, from 14 to 17 segments, it has a swollen glandular thickening. That is known as what? Clitellum. It helps in the formation of the cocoon. So based on this clitellum, what is a clitellum? A swollen, thick glandular thickening is present from 14 to the 17 segments. That is known as what? Clitellum. Based on the presence of this clitellum, it is divided into 3 segments. The first one is a preclitellar region. The first one is a preclitellar region. Then the second one is a clitellar region. Second one is a clitellar region. And third one is a post-clitellar. Third one is a post-clitellar. So this preclitellar segment is present from 1 to 13th segments. Then a clitellum from 14 to 17 segments. The remaining segments from 17 onwards, these segments are known as what? Post-clitellar segments. Based on the presence of the clitellum, it is classified into preclitellar, clitellar and post-clitellar. Then this dorsal pores. The dorsal pores are present from 10th segments onwards. The dorsal pores are present from 10th segment onwards. Here, the coelomic fluid communicates to the outside. The coelomic fluid communicates with the outside through the dorsal pores. So, this coelomic fluid, it helps to keep the body of the earthworm moist and free from the microbes. So, what is the function of the coelomic fluid? It helps to keep the body of the earthworm moist and free from the microbes. Then, spermatical openings. So here this spermatical opening where the sperms are produced, they are present in 3 pairs of spermatical openings are present intersegmentally between the 6 to 7, 7 to 8 and 8 to 9. So here 3 pairs of spermatical openings are present intersegmentally between the 6 to 7, 7 to 8 and 8 to 9. Then a female genital pore or the opening is present on the 14th segment. Female genital opening is present on the 14th segment. Then a male genital opening is present on the 18th segment. Then this nephridia force. So what comes in your mind? Nephridia force means it's a excretory organ. So here the numerous nephridia force are present except from the few anterior segments of the earthworm. Then remaining all the segments, it contains a nephridia force. It helps to eliminate the wastes. Then on the ventral side of the earthworm, on each segment, on the ventral side of the earthworm, on each segment, you can see the S-shaped structure. You can see the S-shaped structure. These S-shaped structures are known as what? Setae. These S-shaped structures are known as what? Setae. It is comes outside through the setigerous sac. It comes outside through the setigerous sac. It helps in the locomotion. It helps in the locomotion by the protruded as well as the retracted. By the contraction as well as the relaxation. It helps in the movement of the earthworm. On the ventral side of the earthworm, except the first and the last segment, in all the segments, there is a S-shaped sac is S-shaped setae is present. It comes outside from the setigerous sac. It helps in the locomotion. Next, we are going to learn about the anatomy of the earthworm. So, what is your anatomy? The study about the internal structure. What is your morphology? The study about the external structure, that is known as what? Morphology. The study about the internal structure, it is known as what? Anatomy. So here the body of the earthworm is thin, moist, slimy, and it is covered by the cuticle and epidermis. So this epidermis, it consists of the supporting cells. The epidermis, it consists of the supporting cells, then gland cells, basal cells, and sensory cells. Basal cells and sensory cells. So the epidermis, it consists of supporting cells, gland cells, basal cells, and sensory cells. Then what is a coelom? The space between the body wall and the digestive tract. The space between the body wall and the digestive tract, it is known as what? Coelom. If it is filled with the fluid, then it is known as what? Coelomic fluid. The coelomic fluid contains a cell that is known as what? Coelomocytes. That is known as what? Coelomocytes. So the function of the coelomocytes, it helps in the regeneration. It helps in the regeneration, immunity, and wound healing. Immunity and wound healing. So what is the functions of the coelomocytes? Regeneration, immunity, and wound healing. Then this coelomic fluid is a milky alkaline fluid. It contains granulocytes or the amoebocytes. So what is the first one? Epidermis. What are the cells present in the epidermis? Supporting cells, gland cells, basal cells, and sensory cells. Then the space between the body wall and the digestive tract, it is known as what? Coelom. If it is filled with the fluid, that is known as what? Coelomic fluid. It contains a cell that is known as what? Coelomocytes. It helps in the regeneration, immunity, and wound healing. So what is the first one? The first segment, it is known as what? Peristomium. It has a mouth in the center. It is covered by a small flap of muscle that is known as what? Prostomium. From 14 to 17 segments, it has a glandular thickening and it is a swollen one, that is known as what? Clitellum. The last segment, it is known as what? Pygidium. Then dorsal folds are present from the 10th segment onwards on on all the segments except the anterior and the posterior last segment. S-shaped setae is present, which helps in the locomotion. Next, we are going to learn about the digestive system of the earthworm. It's very simple. So first, mouth is present. Where the mouth is present? The mouth present in the first segment. So that is known as what? Peristomium. It is covered by a small flap of muscle that is known as what? Prostomium. So this mouth leads to the buccal cavity. The mouth leads to the buccal cavity. So this buccal cavity is present in the first and the second segment. Between the first and the second segment, buccal cavity is present. Then this buccal cavity leads to the pharynx. The buccal cavity leads to the pharynx. So this pharynx is covered by the pharyngeal gland. This pharynx is covered by the pharyngeal gland or the salivary gland. It is covered by the pharyngeal gland or the salivary gland. Is present between the third and the fourth segment. Is present between the third and the fourth segment. See here, in the first and the second segment, buccal cavity is present. The third and the fourth one, pharynx is present. This pharynx leads to the esophagus. The pharynx leads to the esophagus. So, which segment the esophagus is present? Fifth segment. The esophagus is present in the fifth segment. Then this esophagus leads to the gizzard. The esophagus leads to the gizzard. So, this gizzard, it is present in the sixth segment. The gizzard is present in the sixth segment. This gizzard helps in the grinding of the soil particles as well as the decaying leaves. Then this gizzard, it leads to the intestine. The gizzard leads to the intestine, which is present in the seventh segment onwards up to the last segment. Can you understand? So it's very simple. First one, the mouth leads to the buccal cavity. The buccal cavity leads to the pharynx. It is covered by the pharyngeal gland or the salivary gland. The pharynx leads to the esophagus. The esophagus leads to the gizzard. The gizzard leads to the intestine. So, the intestine is present from which segment onwards? From the seventh segment up to the last segment. So, here this intestine is folded. The intestine is folded. That is known as what? Typhlosuit. That is known as what? Typhlosuit. So, it's a 2-mark question. So, from the seventh segment onwards, intestine is present up to the last segment. This intestine is folded. This intestine is folded. So, the folded intestine, it is known as what? Typhlosuit. So, my question is, why the intestine is folded? Think and say the answer, because it increases the absorptive area of the intestine. So, it increases the absorptive area. That's why the intestine is folded. So, what is a typhlosuit? The folded intestine. The folded intestine, that is known as what? Typhlosuit. Then intestinal cavity. Then this intestine, it leads to the anus. So, where the undigested food passes out through the anus. So, first one, mouth, buccal cavity, pharynx, esophagus, gizzard, intestine and anus. So, what is a typhlosuit? The intestine is folded, or the folded intestine of the earthworm, that is known as what? Typhlosuit. Then in the organic rich soil is taken through the mouth and passes along with the digestive tract. Then here the food is digested by the breakdown of the digestive glands, and then this undigested food comes out through the anus. Then that is a 3-mark question. What is a intestinal cavity? What is a intestinal cavity? This intestinal cavity is absent in the Lampetomaruti. Absent in the Lampetomaruti. But it is present in the Metaphyre postuma. But it is present in the Metaphyre postuma. In the Metaphyre postuma, from the 26th segment onwards, in the Metaphyre postuma, from the 26th segment onwards, there is a pair of small conical outgrowth. There is a pair of small conical outgrowth. Where it is present? It is present in the 26th segment, but it extended anteriorly. This word is very important, but it extended anteriorly up to 22nd segment, up to the 22nd segment. So, in the Metaphyre postuma, there is a pair of small conical outgrowth is present in the 26th segment. It extended anteriorly up to the 22nd segment. It secretes a amylocytes. It secretes a amylocytes. It helps in the digestion of the starch. So, what is the function of the amylocytes? It helps in the digestion of the starch. So, it's very important and easy question. The digestive system of the earthworm, mouth leads to the buccal cavity, pharynx, esophagus, gizzard, intestine and anus. So, the organic rich soil is digested by the digestive glands and undigested food passes out through the anus. So this undigested food along with the soil particles, that is known as what? Worm castings or the vermicompost. 3-mark question. Worm castings or the vermicompost. The undigested food along with the soil. Undigested food along with the soil, that is known as what? Worm castings or the vermicompost. What is a typhlozoal? If the intestine is folded in the earthworm, that is known as what? Typhlozoal. Then what is the intestinal CK? In the metaphor postuma, from the 26th segment onwards, there is a pair of small conical outgrowth. It extended anteriorly up to the 22nd segment. It secretes amyloids which helps in the digestion of the starch. Next we are going to learn about the respiratory system of the earthworm. So in the earthworm, there is no lungs or gills are present for respiration. The respiration takes place through the body surface. The outer surface of the skin is richly supplied with blood capillaries and helps in diffusion of gases. So the oxygen diffuses out through the skin into the blood, and then the carbon dioxide comes out from the blood. That's because the skin is moist, mucus and coelomy fluid helps in the exchange of the gases. Next we are going to learn about the circulatory system of the earthworm. So here in the earthworm, the circulatory system is a closed type. So it consists of the blood vessels, capillaries and the lateral hearts. There is a 2 median vessels. There is a 2 median vessels that run longitudinally above and below the alimentary canal. See the blue colored one. So this is the alimentary canal. This is the alimentary canal. The circulatory system of the cockroach is a closed type. 2 median vessels that run longitudinally above and below the alimentary canal. This is the alimentary canal. Above and below the alimentary canal. So the above one, it is known as what? Dorsal vessel. It is known as what? Dorsal vessel. And below the alimentary canal, it is known as what? Ventral vessel. This is known as what? Ventral vessel. The 2 median longitudinal vessels that run above and below the alimentary canal. One is called as a dorsal vessel and second one is called as a ventral vessel. In the dorsal vessel, paired walls are present. In the dorsal vessel, paired walls are present. So here this paired walls, it prevents the backward flow of the blood. It prevents the backward flow of the blood. So in the ventral vessel, there is no paired walls are present. There is no paired walls are present. So it allows the backward flow of the blood. In the dorsal vessel, paired walls are present. It prevents the backward flow of the blood. In the ventral vessel, there is no walls are present. So it allows a backward flow of the blood. See here, this dorsal vessel and the ventral vessel are connected by the 8 parts of commissural walls. See this one, this is called as a commissural walls or the lateral hearts. It is called as a commissural walls or the lateral hearts. The dorsal vessel and the ventral vessels are connected by 8 pairs of commissural vessels or the lateral hearts. So it runs on either side of the alimentary canal. Then here it connects the dorsal vessel as well as the ventral vessel. This dorsal vessel always receives the blood. It always receives the blood from the various organs in the body. So this ventral vessel, it supplies the blood to the various organs of the body. The dorsal vessel receives the blood. The ventral vessel supplies the blood to the various parts of the body. And then in the blood cells, the hemoglobin is present. The blood glands produces the blood cells. The hemoglobin is present. So which gives a red color to the blood. It's very simple. The circulatory system of the earthworm is closed type. It contains blood vessels, capillaries and lateral hearts. The 2 median longitudinal vessels that are runs above and below the alimentary canal. So this blue color one is the alimentary canal that runs above and below the alimentary canal. The above one is known as what? Dorsal vessel. The below one it is known as what? Ventral vessel. Both the dorsal vessel and the ventral vessels, they are connected by the 8 pairs of commissure walls vessels or by the lateral hearts. Then this dorsal vessel always receives the blood, and then as the paired walls are present, it prevents the backward flow of the blood. In the ventral vessels, there is no walls are present. It allows the backward flow of the blood. So here, this commissure vessels, it pumps the blood into the lateral dorsal vessel as well as into the ventral vessels. If the hemoglobin is present, which gives red color to the blood. So this class we learnt about the morphology of the earthworm. So what is a morphology? The study about the external characters. So here the first segment, it is known as what? Peristomium. It is covered by a small plaque of muscle, that is known as what? Prostomium. The last segment is known as what? Pygidium. From 14 to 17 segments, there is a thick swollen glandular thickening. It is known as what? Clitellum. Based on the clitellum, it is divided into preclitellar, clitellar and postclitellar region. Then dorsal pores is present from 10th segment onwards. Then male genital pore from 14, female genital pore 18, and then the nephridia pores is present throughout the body except a few anterior segments. It helps in the removal of the waste. Then our digestive system, it starts from the mouth, buccal cavity, pharynx, esophagus, gizzard, intestine and anus. So what is a typlosole? If the intestine is folded, that is known as what? Typlosole. Then what is a intestinal caecae? In the metaphyseal postuma, in the 26th segment, there is a small conical outgrowth, that is known as what? Intestinal caecae. It extended anteriorly up to the 22nd segment, that is known as what? Intestinal caecae. Then a respiration takes place through the body wall because the skin of the earthworm is moist and smooth. In the circulatory system, two median vessels, one is a dorsal vessel, then the second one is a ventral vessel connected by the commissure vessels or by the lateral hearts.